My name is Chloe Mangan, and this is my persuasive speech. The cost of having a baby is very expensive, and facts to consider about the cost of a baby are clothing, diapers, shelter, daycare, medical needs, and food. A big decision that parents have to make when raising their child is whether they are going to breastfeed or if they are going to give their baby formula. There are 4 main reasons that mothers stop breastfeeding or do not breastfeed their child at all. I interviewed my Aunt Megan and my mother to get more information on this topic. The 4 main reasons between mothers and breastfeeding are as follows. A lot of mothers have a rough start and throw in exhaustion on top of that of a new mother, and a lot of mothers get frustrated and reach for the bottle. Some mothers often worry that their baby isn't getting enough formula, is not getting enough milk, so they start supplementing with formula. The last reason that mothers quit breastfeeding is due to the fact that most mothers have to go back to work, and finding time to pump and go back to work is very difficult. There are many types of formula, and the first one is ready-to-feed formula. The next one is powdered formula, and concentrated liquid are the 3 different types of formula. I use Target's website to research and compare the costs of formula. Ready-to-feed formula is formula that is mixed and requires no water or other ingredients. Powdered formula requires water and measuring to mix appropriate amounts. Concentrated liquid formula also requires water and mixing. Having a baby is very expensive, like I said, and you have to provide clothing, diapers, shelter, daycare, if you have a job, medical needs, and food. The first cost I'm going to explain is clothing. The average piece of clothing is $9 to $10 for just one piece of clothing. Brand clothing is, of course, going to be much more costly and can be as much as $40 to $50. Secondhand stores are a good option since the baby will grow out of the clothes quickly. Another thing to take into consideration is babies should use mild detergent since their skin is so sensitive, and that's more expensive than regular detergent and costs about $16 at Target. Infants go through at least 10 to 15 diapers a day. They are on a liquid diet, which causes their stool to be much looser, so they go through more diapers. The average cost of a package of infant diapers at Target is $45.99 for 216 diapers, which will last about 2.5 weeks. It is a safe assumption to say diapers are around $100 per month. The cost of living in a home is very expensive. Renting and owning both come with a pretty penny, and the parent needs to make sure that they provide a safe environment for the child. Daycare can vary anywhere, but normally it's very pricey. For full-time daycare, the cost range is from $400 to $800 per month. You also need to be selective when choosing a daycare for your child because they are taking care of your child, and you need to feel that your child is safe. Babies get sick a lot, so they will need medicine, several vaccinations, and doctor visits. This will result in doctor visits and antibiotics, which will be pricey. And babies also use small things day to day like cream for their bottom, baby powder, infant Tylenol, teething gel, etc. Many studies show that breastfeeding is the best way to go for the baby, but formula has come a long way in the past 10 years. Some pros for formula are it's very quick and it doesn't take that much time. You can just put it in the microwave. It's quick and easy. The consistency, they're independent of the mother, so it's very easy for other people to feed the baby, and they're not as dependent on the mother to feed them. And other people can experience the bonding besides the mother. It's easier for the mother because she doesn't have to be the one always getting up and feeding the baby. And I looked on the website examiner.com for the information on the pros and cons of formula. Some cons of formula are it's expensive and the cost really does add up. Some babies develop acid reflux and you don't get as strong of a bond between the mother and the baby. Okay, I'm going to talk about the amount of formula to feed a baby. A baby would need 30 ounces of formula per day, so all of the formula would have to be measured out each day, and they need about 400 ounces per day to sustain healthy weight. Some different costs of formula. Name brands are the most expensive. Ready-to-feed formula is the most expensive, and ready-to-use formula is usually $23.99 for a 40-ounce can at Target. Concentrated liquid is the second most expensive. A 6-pack costs $41.94 for 32 ounces per can at Target. Powdered formula is the cheapest of all the formulas. It costs around $35.99 for 233 fluid ounces per can if you add water. If a parent were to use formula, I would suggest that they use powder because it is the least expensive and still provides vitamins and nutrients. Of course, the cheapest form of feeding is breastfeeding, but that's not for everyone. There are several different types of formula that can help the baby, and some babies need different types of formula. It is easier for the baby to digest, so some mothers have to test with different formulas to see what works for their baby. These are the different types of specialty formulas: Enfamil, Gentle Ease, Enfamil, Pro-SoB, formula with extra iron, and organic formula. The cost to feed an infant for 1 day ready-to-feed formula would be $17 per day if you bought formula from Target. And you have to take into consideration that the baby will grow and need to eat more. And powdered formula to feed 1 day would be $4.63 per day and $1,689 per year if you bought the formula from Target. Concentrated liquid would be $13.10 per day if you bought from Target and $4,000.783 over a year. Many mothers consider breastfeeding because of family traditions to help lose weight and very good for the baby and also very cheap. Every parent has to make the decision whether to breastfeed or buy formula. The pros of breastfeeding are it's inexpensive, it offers the best nutrition, the bonding between the mother and the infant. It's easy, you don't have to heat the bottles or warm water, and it helps the mom lose weight. Some cons are that you have to watch what you eat and drink, it's time consuming, sore breasts and nipples, and breasts can shrink and sag after breastfeeding. The cost of having a baby is very expensive. Facts you need to consider about a baby are clothing, diapers, shelter, daycare, medical needs, and food. The big decision for mothers is to breastfeed or formula. After researching this topic, to me it's a no-brainer. And if you were able to breastfeed, I think you should. It works. It's worth the extra time, but the cost of clothing, diapers, shelter, daycare, medical needs, and food come into play. You need to feed the child breast milk for the free option, in my opinion. I think it's the best way to go. However, everyone has their own opinion, and formula has come a long way. Thanks. Almost 10.